God said, "Don't work anymore." Chosen one, listen closely. This is not a coincidence. This moment was divinely orchestrated. God has drawn you here because something is shifting in the spiritual realm. What you are about to receive is not just encouragement, it is a revelation. Your days of struggle, lack, and uncertainty are coming to an end. This is the beginning of your divine turnaround. You've carried burdens that were never meant to be yours alone. You've tried to make ends meet, to figure it all out, to survive through your own strength. But hear this truth now. God is stepping in. Your provision, your abundance, your breakthrough, it is no longer your responsibility. It is God's. He is your source, the one who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, the one who commands the wind and the waves, the one who makes a way where there is no way. He has taken full responsibility for your provision. Not just for your finances, but for your peace, your future, your purpose, and your joy. You are not being called into a life of ease, but into a life of restful trust, where peace replaces panic and grace replaces grind. God is not asking you to hustle harder, He is asking you to surrender deeper. Your only task now is to walk in obedience, to trust His timing, and to align with His will. There is no more need to fear what's ahead. The path is already prepared. There is no more need to worry about how things will come together. He is the one bringing it all into place. God is not limited by the economy, your background, or your past. His provision is supernatural. It defies logic and flows from a place of unlimited abundance. This is not a prosperity fantasy. It is a spiritual truth. God desires you to live fully, joyfully, purposefully, not in constant survival, but in overflow. Wealth in God's kingdom is more than money. It is peace in your soul, clarity in your direction, wholeness in your relationships, and the power to bless others. Your role now is to trust and to move forward in faith. Release control. Let go of striving. You were never meant to carry this all by yourself. Your Father in heaven has promised to provide, and He does not break His promises. Walk boldly into your new season. Expect divine alignment. Expect open doors. Expect miracles in motion. You are chosen, you are covered, and your breakthrough is already unfolding. Let this truth settle into your spirit. Wealth is no longer your burden. It is God's responsibility, and He is faithful. Chosen one, your days of striving are over. God is taking full responsibility for your prosperity. You are not meant to live in lack or fear. You were created for abundance, purpose, and impact. What's ahead is more than enough, not just for you to survive, but to thrive and be a blessing to others. When you trust God as your provider, doubt loses its power, and doors begin to open. You don't have to chase wealth. It begins to follow you, because you're walking in divine alignment. God's promises are not empty. They are eternal, and they are for you. His word says, His promises are yes and amen, and that includes financial provision, peace, and favor. Your dreams are not too big. What may look impossible in the natural is already done in the spiritual. You are not disqualified by your past or limited by your circumstances. You are chosen, called, and covered, and God will provide exactly what you need to fulfill your purpose. Wealth in the kingdom is not just about personal gain. It's a tool for impact. Your abundance will allow you to support ministries, lift up others, and build what God has placed in your heart. This is not just provision, it is vision. And with it comes divine responsibility, not as a burden, but as a privilege. Let go of fear. Release every limiting belief. The moment you align your thoughts with God's truth, you create space for miracles. Remember, God's plan is not for temporary relief, but for lasting generational prosperity. This is your time to rise, not by effort alone, but by grace. People may question your blessings or doubt your calling, but they don't hold your future. God does. And when He declares favor over your life, no one can cancel it. So walk forward with confidence, expect overflow, live generously, and know this truth deep in your spirit. Your wealth is not a result of striving. It is the fruit of God's promise, and it will be more than enough. Your divine wealth is not just a blessing for you. It is a sacred trust, meant to be shared and multiplied for God's glory. God's provision flows abundantly in your life so that you can serve others, uplift the needy, and expand His kingdom here on earth. The principle of divine abundance is clear. The more you give with a generous and willing heart, the more blessings will flow back to you. This is the law of sowing and reaping, rooted in faith and obedience. As you embrace the richness God has prepared for you, remember that your prosperity is not earned by your efforts alone, but is a tangible reflection of His faithfulness and unwavering love. Each blessing you receive is a testament to His character, a solid, unchanging promise that He will never leave you or forsake you. You may face criticism, doubt, or mockery from those who do not understand your journey, but take heart. Their words do not define you or your future. What God has blessed, no one can undo. Your success is a reflection of His divine favor, not human approval. Let your life be a powerful testimony of God's grace and His power to provide and transform. Living in the fullness of God's provision means experiencing life as it was always meant to be, abundant, peaceful, and free from lack. It is a deep, soul-satisfying confidence that every need, every desire, and every dream is held in the hands of a faithful Creator who loves you beyond measure. You are not just surviving day by day, you are thriving in your finances, your relationships, your health, and your purpose. Step forward boldly with the assurance that God has already gone before you. The paths are being prepared, the doors are opening, and the blessings are aligning perfectly with His divine plan for your life. Wealth is no longer something you must chase. It will naturally follow as you walk faithfully and obediently with Him. Your abundance is more than personal prosperity. It is a powerful tool to bless others, advance God's work, and leave a lasting legacy for generations to come. This responsibility is a privilege, not a burden, and it brings joy and fulfillment beyond material riches. So, live confidently in this truth every day. Trust that God's promises are true, His timing perfect, and His provision never-ending. Watch as your life becomes a beacon of His goodness, a testimony to His faithfulness, and a reflection of His glory in every area. You are chosen. You are blessed. You are empowered to be a vessel of divine abundance, and your best days are ahead. Your life is a testimony of God's unshakable faithfulness. Every dollar, every open door, every answered prayer is a sign that God is fulfilling His promise to provide for you. You are not just walking in blessing for yourself. You are a vessel of God's abundance, a light that shows others His love, power, and provision. Your prosperity is a divine message to the world. God keeps His word. This wealth, financial, emotional, spiritual, is not something you earned by striving. It is a result of His grace and your obedience. You are chosen. Your past struggles were preparation, not punishment. And now, the season of scarcity is over. You are stepping into divine overflow. As you rise, remember this abundance isn't just for comfort, it's for calling. It's meant to impact your family, your community, and generations to come. When you give, more flows. When you serve, more is poured out. This is the nature of divine wealth. Limitless, powerful, and purpose-driven. God's provision isn't bound by human systems. His supply has no limit. Like a river that never dries up, His blessings continue to flow as you stay in alignment with His will. You are not meant to barely get by. You are meant to thrive. And through your life, others will come to know that trusting in God brings transformation. So release the fear, forget the past, and walk boldly into your calling. This is not just your season, it's your testimony. Your abundance is not a coincidence, it's your covenant. God has chosen you. His provision is flowing, and the best is still ahead. When you fully align your heart and steps with God's divine plan, you will begin to experience a supernatural flow of blessings. God is moving on your behalf, opening doors that no man can shut, orchestrating opportunities, and releasing favor in every area of your life, your finances, your relationships, your health, and your purpose. This flow of blessings is not something you have to struggle for. It is your God-given inheritance, a natural result of walking in obedience and faith. Just as a river flows and brings life wherever it touches, so will God's abundance overflow in your life. You are not only the recipient of these blessings, but also a channel through which God's goodness and grace will impact others. Your life becomes a living testimony of His faithfulness and a beacon of hope to those around you. The journey toward divine prosperity isn't always clear or easy. Often, God's richest blessings come through doors that seem hidden or opportunities that appear unexpectedly. Trust His perfect timing. Just as Joseph faced trials before his rise, your challenges are shaping you for the breakthroughs that God has prepared. Stay faithful, keep your eyes on Him, and watch as He opens doors that lead to wealth, success, and the fulfillment of your God-ordained purpose. True wealth is far more than money. It is a sacred tool entrusted to you to further God's kingdom. As you walk in divine abundance, God will guide you to use your resources to bless others, support ministries, and make a lasting difference in the world. The more you give with a generous heart, the more God will multiply your blessings, creating a cycle of abundance that impacts generations. Remember, God's timing is perfect. There will be seasons of waiting and preparation, but when the time is right, the floodgates of heaven will open and blessings will pour in. Trust His plan, remain obedient, and step boldly into the life of provision, purpose, and peace that God has lovingly prepared for you. This is your season of divine abundance. Receive it with faith and watch God's promises unfold in your life.